Hello from Service Trucks International and Tiger Cranes. I'm Tim Henry, STI National Sales Manager.
My name is Brian Davidson. I'm the Tiger Cranes Sales Manager.
Today we're going to be talking about a couple of our Tiger Cranes, the Model 3216 electric and the Model 7543 hydraulic.
So again, my name is Brian Davidson. I'm the Crane Sales Manager for Tiger Cranes. I cover the US and Canada and Mexico for our crane products. Today I'm going to be talking about the 3216 Tiger Crane. It is a 3,200 pound crane, very common in the industry. Couple things. One thing is it's rated for 12,500 foot-pounds, which is one of the higher rated 3,200 pound cranes in the market. So it's very good value. Some other things I'd like to talk about. This crane has been recently redesigned. It used to be a 3215, today it's a 3216. It has a down angle of minus 15 degrees and will rotate all the way up to plus 75 degrees. We use worn electric winches on this electric over hydraulic crane, over 80 feet of cable on the winch. It is an electric over hydraulic crane, so it operates hydraulically for boom elevation and rotation, and has one full hydraulic extension out, and then two manual extensions. Where you pull this little pin here, and you can extend it out 2 more times. So that's how you get to the full 16.5 feet of extension on this crane. Some other updates real quick. The anti-two block used to be a weight and chain, which had some, false indications sometimes, where this is designed to prevent you from pulling this block all the way up into the pulley and locking this crane up and doing damage to the winch or the crane or the hydraulics, anything like that. So today it's been updated with a lever style system here that will shut the crane off. Some other safety features built into all of our cranes really include pressure sensing technology, to where there's a sensor on this cylinder here that when you reach the maximum load capacity of the crane, it will stop. I've had calls before where somebody will call and say, my crane remote isn't working right, it'll only let me do certain things. That's because of this sensor here. So when you hit that maximum limit switch, you only have 3 options. You can put the load back down on the ground through the winch. You can retract the boom in, the load in, to take and reduce the weight, or you can elevate the boom, which also brings it closer to the center, which will also reduce the weight. So those are the only options you have when you hit that safety point. This crane, from 3,200 pounds up in our full line, have boom tip light options available. They're all pre-wired for it. Tim will show you that here in a little bit. And then the last thing I'd like to talk about is the crane remote. So wireless remote controls are all standard on all of our cranes from 2,000 pounds on up. We have some other options for wired remotes and cords for bigger cranes and that kind of thing. But the 3,200 pound remote is this little guy here. Also works for our 4,000 pound crane. Real small, fits right in your pocket, so you can't lose it, right? You can turn the boom tip light on and off with this crane. You can operate all the functions. It even has a little horn on here, which is a safety requirement. Sometimes people are worried about losing these things, but I think, put it in your pocket. It's always there for you. It's also, magnetic, so you can stick it inside the cabinet or whatever. And one option that a lot of people don't know about on this style remote for us is we offer a wireless charging pad that can be put into the crane cabinet with a 12 volts supplied to it, and you just lay this on top of the wireless charging pad like you do your cell phone. And when you're going up and down the road, it's being recharged. You don't have to use any extra cords like a USB B cord, and it's always charged and ready to go for you when and you always know where it is. So I think that's the main options that we have for our 3216. I'll let Tim talk about our model 7543 crane.
Thank you, Brian. Let's move over to the 7543. The 7543 fully hydraulic crane is a 7,500 foot-pound crane with 30 foot of horizontal reach, 29 feet of height depending on the truck cabin height. Brian mentioned a few features, but I'm going to go over some others. You're going to see some common things in the Tiger crane family. The new reduced boom head design, the addition of the boom tip lights or crane lights is now an option on all of our cranes. You see we're migrating to the new anti-two block versus the old chain and block, which has some advantages and disadvantages. This is a California legal requirement. That's why it is bolted on. California requires that when the block is stood, then it cannot come off. Most of you will remove this, so it's bolted on there. But for you folks in the Southwest and California, that's on there for you. As Brian mentioned, our crane controls are wireless standard. This is the crane pistol grip wireless control. It's a fully proportional remote control. The functions are toggle switch, and the trigger controls the speed. With this remote, you can start and stop the truck, engage and disengage the PTO, start and stop the air system, as well as control all the functions on the crane. Standard with the 7543 and our larger crane family, the 8600, the 1061, and the 1069, is a load management system on the crane controller. So you can't see it in this video, but there is a digital readout on the face of the controller. So the operator knows what percentage of load is on the hook at all times. So Brian talked about in the 3216, the load pressure system, and that being a safety feature. There's also a transducer in the main boom pin on the crane, similar to large cranes, that gives us a readout and tells us all the time what our percentage of load is. So we still do have, and I don't know if you can see it from the shot, but when you extend the boom out, there is tape to tell you how far out you're extended, and there is a load angle indicator. Obviously, we still recommend that you use your load charts. That's what they're there for. The load charts are on the truck, tell you the safe operating envelope of the crane. However, the controller will also tell you your percentage of load. When you get to 99% of load, the crane will shut down. We get calls, as Brian mentioned, from time to time, and folks don't understand why the crane stopped working. And again, you can lower the boom, reposition the load, move the truck closer to the working load. You can telescope the boom in, or you can cable down. Those are the only three functions. So if you find yourself in an overlimit situation and you don't realize it, you'll see the 99% of load on the crane. The Tiger crane family also has onboard diagnostics. We won't get into that today, but just some wonderful features and enhancements on our new line of cranes. Are there any questions? I'll wait a moment for questions. I want to mention on our hydraulic series cranes that we have something called Auto 2-Speed. It's actually a decal on the side of the boom. We get a lot of questions about Auto 2-Speed. So what this crane does and how Auto 2-Speed works is, right now it's 100% proportional control, 100% of load. As soon as you pick up a weight, as soon as you pick something up with the hook, either by the winch or by the mechanical boom on the crane, the load is reduced by 50%. The operator doesn't have to hit anything. Doesn't have to switch any switches from high to low. The crane automatically reduces speed 50%, but you still have proportions from 0 to 50. So unloaded, 0 to 100% proportional control, very, very fast speeds, quick setup and tear down. Once you pick up a load, it's reduced by 50%, but you still have proportional control from 0 to 50. So the crane's going to slow down a little bit so you can move that load safely. Were there any questions? Okay. I think that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. If you weren't able to attend live and you're watching this later, Please comment, respond with questions. We'll get back to you. And thank you again.
Yep, thank you very much.